Every morning on our homestead starts just like this, with the birds heading out of their coops for breakfast in the morning. But since early summer, when we got our newer set of ducks, we've had a bit of a problem with the coop situation.
So right now our flock is split in two. The original crew sleeps in one coop and the new crew sleeps in another. It's been a little more chaos and stressful for everyone, and we've been aiming to build something bigger so they can all nest together.
Although we designed the coop together, Taylor did most of the heavy lifting on this one as far as building it goes, because just the construction projects are more his forte. And I have been busy in the kitchen preserving all sorts of food. So he kind of would just set up the camera and get to work doing all of the measuring and cutting and putting all of the pieces together. We designed this to be basically a mini version, a simpler mini version of our big chicken coop, so that they kind of tie together since they are connected to the same run structure. And we wanted them to look nice together, even though this is kind of an add-on that we didn't really plan to do in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning we always planned to have the ducks and the chickens live together, but that kind of changed as time went on. So we kind of built them a temporary separate house, and this can be their permanent new house and might have room for more ducks in the future if we want. So we wanted this coop to be more roomy for the ducks, so like we said, we could have more in the future if we want, but it'll also just be like a bigger space for them to hang out at night, safe, and we don't have to worry about, them being cramped in their little house. It's also something that we built to tie into our existing run, but the size and design will probably allow us to move it or make it mobile in the future. It was a little more difficult figuring out how to tie it into the existing run, but I think it worked out pretty good.
In addition to installing it on the side of the run, like attached to the run wall, it's also on the side of a hill, because we live in the foothills and our property is very hilly and bermed and everything, so that also kind of posed some more challenges, I would say. So we needed to clear all of the brush that we let grow on the side of the coop run this year. Taylor finally was able to get a portion of the dig barrier, because we still haven't done that on the rest of the run.
Yep.
He did this portion of it finally. And then we had to kind of dig out and install some temporary footing situations, because this is going to move eventually down to our orchard. And then on top of that, all that, we had to attach it to the run so that it was like secure and safe. And one of the final touches that we were really excited about was the Chick Cozy solar door. So just like the other Chick Cozy doors that we have, this opens automatically in the morning and closes by itself at night, which makes our life a lot easier, and it's a lot safer for the ducks, I think, just because I think they would stay out all night long if we let them.
They don't roost like chickens. They'll just kind of nest down wherever they're comfortable and hang out for the night. So
Yeah.
It's a lot safer to have somewhere.
The term sitting ducks is
Yeah.
a thing for a reason. So we've had these doors. We've been using the Chick Cozy doors for like 2 years now on both of our duck cabinet and our bigger chicken coop, and we love them. We haven't had any problems with them, and it's kind of a critical part in our routine, just because we both work full time, and having the doors manage the chickens it makes our life a lot easier. So we want to say thank you to Chick Cozy for sending us this one, because it's a solar door. We haven't had any issues with the battery version ones, but with the ducks, I'm really excited for the solar door, because they do go through the batteries a little bit quicker, because their waddly little butts and feet track straw into the door sometimes, and the doors are designed so that they don't close. Like, they'll open back up if they sense anything in the way. So sometimes the straw gets stuck in the door, which we haven't had that issue with the chickens at all. I think we haven't changed the batteries in that for 2 years now.
Yeah, the chicken door is still on its original batteries, and I mean, we've only replaced them in the duck door once.
Yeah.
But like you said, sometimes it'll sense the straw in there and open and close for a little while, so it just drains down faster.
With the ducks.
So we shouldn't have to worry about that with the solar door, because it'll just keep recharging itself.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that, because it's not something I have to worry about often, but it is nice to know that, like, we don't have to buy extra batteries or recharge batteries or anything.
After weeks of work, the ducks finally have a big house to call their own, and watching them kind of go in and explore it for the first time was definitely worth the work. They really love their big new house.
After our initial hope to keep the birds in one big coop didn't work out because of our roosters and just like the coop dynamics, and then having to throw together the little duck cabinet that we had for our original duck flock of 5, and then getting more ducks, having this big space for them feels kind of like a little milestone for our homestead. We have 2 coops. Even though we didn't grow our flock that much, it feels like, I don't know, it feels more official now. Like we have a big duck flock.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a finished, permanent space for them. Their old cabinet was always a little improvised, and it worked well for a year or however long they were using it, but this bigger space allows them, more comfort and more room for ducks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice to see them actually, now that they're sleeping together, become one big flock. Like, they were kind of 2 separate flocks before because they were sleeping separately, but they're really migrating into one now, and that's neat to see. They love ducking around in there. They literally they go in there and they'll play in the straw, and we don't even have to really tell them to go in at night. If they see us walking out here and make sure their run door is closed, they will go right in, and they put themselves to bed now, which is really nice.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they enjoy the space more. They go in there on their own, whereas their old cabinet, we would have to kind of guide them in there more. So it seems like they really enjoy being in the new house. This is the new duck house. It is like a miniature version of our big chicken coop, and we just added it onto the outside of the run. This was a really good open space for it, and we didn't really have to modify anything else to do it. So it's built pretty similar. This one is 4x8 instead of 8x16, which is the big chicken coop. So we did the same style roof vents on the side, so lots of airflow through here. It's on kind of like temporary foundations and feet right now. Eventually we'll probably take those off and put this on like 2 wheels and 2 feet if we move it down in the orchard, but that'll be easy to do. And right now I just have these bricks kind of dug into the hill, so it has a solid base to sit on. We had to get a little creative to attach it to the existing run. So we kind of just made like a picture frame more or less out of 2x6s to give us a little space for the overhang. But then this is also a nice solid surround that no other critters can get in and access that. And then underneath of this is where I did the dig barrier. The bottom of this is like, open, but the run is fully sealed off still. The way we did the floor in here is we're improving on some previous floors we've done. And there is a layer of like 1-inch 16 gauge hardware cloth, which is like really kind of heavy duty hardware cloth. But then also to get that won't keep like snakes and smaller stuff out. So we put a layer of our normal like 1/4-inch hardware cloth that the whole run is done in on top of that. And it actually made like a really sturdy floor. And then we just put their straw bedding on top of that, so they have a nice, comfortable area to be in. But it also allows tons of airflow and any moisture to escape through the vented floor. All right, on the front wall that's in the run, this is where the the ducks access it. We did it similar to our big coop where there's kind of big doors that open up the whole front, so it's easy for us to change their bedding and clean it out when we need to. The doors open up flush with the floor, so we can kind of just rake this stuff out of here. It makes it a lot easier to clean. This time, something different we did that we learned with their little cabinet, and we've always, I mean, the ducks are just messy little birds.
They're wet, messy birds.
Yeah, they're wet. So in an effort to try and keep the inside clean rather than just the raw plywood, all three of the big walls are sided in like, I think it's like a more affordable like shower wall or like backsplash material. It's like a plastic fiberglass panel that we put in here. That will actually allow us to just like hose this thing out because it's not going to absorb any moisture. So like we can pull all their bedding out of here and hose this thing out and actually like scrub these walls, and we don't have to worry about the moisture like, you know, destroying plywood or anything. It actually also kind of, that double layer will insulate it better too, which the ducks run pretty warm. They don't have any trouble in the winters here, but it should probably make it a little more comfortable for them too. So we don't have any like access doors on the back like we do for the nesting boxes for the chickens. And after seeing how deep or feeling how deep 4 feet is, it probably would have been a good idea to have some access doors to get eggs. But we can reach most of it. And if we need to use like our little garden hoe or something to scoop eggs out of here, that's not a big deal. It's something we could add later on. We'll just kind of see how it progresses and if it's really becomes an obstacle. So, I mean, I guess I would either add doors or realistically, it could be a foot shallower and still be plenty big for our ducks. Speaking of eggs, these ducks haven't laid any eggs in a while.
Oh.
So this is a little unfinished. I was gonna add like some little clips or something to hold this wire up. Very surprisingly, that painter's tape is held on through like a couple rains now and a couple weeks. The other chick cozies are all like self-contained and you put the batteries in them. This has a separate solar panel with a little control box. So it has the wire to connect them, and there's a little plug, like a weatherproof plug. So you can disconnect it whenever you need to. Eventually, like we say, when this thing's not on the run, I will mount that panel probably just to the roof of this thing, or we can put it on one of the sidewalls, just wherever it needs to get light. But right now, if I put it on the front of this, it wouldn't get any sun from this direction. So I just put it up here on one of the posts. And like I said, I'll add a couple little clips just to hold the wire out of the way a little better. But it's nice that it has the quick like weatherproof disconnect. So when we do need to open this up, you can unplug the cord and it doesn't get in the way. So yeah, we don't have to open this up like a ton of the time. We kind of peek in there or open a door just to see if there's eggs to collect. This is just a little solar panel for the chick cozy, and it's got this little control panel. It's all weatherproof, and this is just how you open and close it, and it kind of tells you the charging and battery and stuff like that. And it's actually nice. This thing just mounts on like a slide, yeah, a cleat mount, so it's all super easy to disconnect and move if you need to. Yeah, you can kind of, well, I guess you can kind of see the dig barrier wire down here. That's actually dug like a foot into the dirt below the bottom of the run, so anything that would try and dig or get in here can't. And then you can see how we did the frame of 2x6s.
We'll keep you guys posted on their attitudes towards their new coop, but I think that it's promising, at least so far. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.